Austin Theory 2.0. A quick little Raw recap here. The show featured 9 matches last night and had a lot of setup for War Games. We learned that Team Bianca will add Mia Yim and that Team Damage Control will add Rhea Ripley. The show culminated in another U.S. title match, which featured Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. And Raw ended with a much more serious Austin Theory attacking Seth Rollins as we kind of faded to black with Austin Theory 2.0. Now, I don't know about everybody else. I'm not going to speak for everybody else. I'm only going to speak for myself. But what I do know is that Raw last night, the only way I could think to put it, Raw last night felt like a very well-cooked meal that had absolutely no seasoning on it. It was a well-prepared steak that the chef just forgot to put any salt and pepper on. And I don't know if I was just tired. I don't know what it is. But to me, last night, Raw lacked any kind of identity or personality. It started to feel a little bit more like an AEW Dynamite. First off, the crowd was fucking dead. Now, I don't know what that's about, but the crowd seemed to hardly react to anything. And when they did react to some things, I was like, that's the thing that gets you guys excited. That's what gets you guys to pop. I'm developing a little bit of a fear. When it goes to Monday night. It's 3 hours long. Triple H has come out of the kind of the honeymoon period of taking over. So someone's going to have to show me. Someone's going to have to break down for me where Triple H is still booking at this high level that everybody's talking about. Because as far as what I saw on Monday Night Raw, I saw good matches, but it wasn't overly cohesive and it didn't make a ton of sense to me. Now, there's a small little part of me it's in the back of my head that says this smelt a lot like Vince McMahon was back at work. Now, I don't have any information. I have no proof, but we do know that the investigation's over and it wouldn't be hard by proxy to start sprinkling in little like, hey, Trip, you need to do this. Hey, Hunter, you need to do this. This is still my company. You need to do these things. I don't have proof of it, but it did last night smelt a little bit like Vince McMahon was back working around behind the scenes, lurking in the shadows. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm being critical. There were good matches on that card. Riddle and Chad Gable, solid match. Theory's match with Dolph Ziggler was a good match. So there were good matches, but they weren't cohesive. They didn't make a lot of sense. The buildup is feeling more like, it's feeling more like AEW. It's like in pure AEW fashion, a lot of good, solid, like dream matchups, but I'm not sure why they're happening. So like Triple H is going to have to do a better job. From the casual point of view, this felt a little bit like IWC fan service. Because from a casual point of view, I need the story. And to me, the stories feel incomplete. They feel like things are missing. It feels like people are missing. Like, where was Elias? You're trying to sell me on this idea that like the Alpha Academy has a problem with Riddle and Elias, yet one week one guy's here, the next week he's not here, and you sell it with like he's off doing his rock star thing. Well, then I guess wrestling's not that important to him. I need reason. Like, you're gonna have to get deeper into explaining to me why these things are happening, and then you're gonna have to explain to me why Mia Yim was in 5 different segments. Why she was sprinkled all over that show, and nothing wrong with Mia Yim. I'm okay. She's another good addition to the women's roster. But here we go in pure Tony Khan fashion. Your new shiny toy is appearing all over television, while some of your established roster is nowhere to be seen. Guys like Mustafa Ali are just being completely buried, but Mia Yim is getting 5 different segments. You talk about new toys, that's new toys. And after all the last couple of months of the fanfare being made around the OC having a Rhea Ripley problem, man, the OC's got a Rhea Ripley problem. The OC and Rhea Ripley aren't going to be in a match together at Survivor Series. We've placed Rhea Ripley into the women's war game match, which is fine. It's a clusterfuck, but it's fine. And what's coming out of the OC in the Judgment Day is literally a one-on-one matchup between Finn Balor and AJ Styles. So, I guess Mia Yim and Rhea Ripley can be a part of that match, but they're really not. They're really more invested into the women's the women's clusterfuck match is what I'm going to call it, right? Rhea and Mia Yim seemingly just randomly join a War Games match. And on the babyface side, it makes sense. The babyface side, it's fine. Babyfaces all side with babyfaces. But these heels, these women heels are just way too eager to all work together. Like, the fact that Bayley's just openly accepting Rhea Ripley and they all are willing to work together, and it's like a big kumbaya to go against Bianca Belair, who really hasn't done anything to establish herself as needing everybody else to team up against. It just, a lot of this stuff doesn't make sense to me. It's almost, we're playing this up without story, and I don't love it. It feels like, honestly, to me, it feels like things didn't come through. I think Triple H was counting on having Sasha Banks back by then, and I think that might have fell through. We have one spot left on Team Bianca, and I think obviously it's either going to go to Dana Brooke, who they keep teasing, or burying, one or the other. I'm not sure what they're doing with her, or it's going to go to Candice LeRae, who was injured by Damage Control, and she'll make her comeback. So, like, cool. Just, it's all over the place. It's messy. That's very messy for something that could have been very packaged together. Very, like, we should have, if this is where we were going, we should have got hints of this way earlier than like 2 weeks before War Games. All of a sudden, these random people are just coming together. Then let's talk about Dominic Mysterio, right? Because Dominic Mysterio has basically become the Dennis the Menace of Monday Night Raw, right? He's just behind people, parroting them, kind of being quirky, kind of being silly, kind of being a nuisance. He's not really a man. He's more of a boy. Like, he looks like a goofy little kid in the ring. And it's at this point, I guess that's what the Judgment Day is. Like, originally we had all these talks about them being this paranormal, like, mystical, powerful group. And now they kind of just seem like a gang of 8th graders who walk around on Halloween smashing pumpkins. Like, they're really not there to fuck shit up. They just want to cause property damage or just a little bit of trouble for like AJ Styles and Edge. That's it. They have no intentions outside of that. And to me, like, it's coming off as goofy. Dominic Mysterio comes off as goofy, comes off as Dennis the Menace. He comes off as a little kid. And it looks like now, I don't even think it's by accident. It looks like that's all by design. It looks like that is the character that they are laying into with Dominic Mysterio. And once again, I'm confused. Now, Seth Rollins, we see it. He's 100% babyface. Whatever that means for his character, they have flipped him to the side of the light. And I don't know that I love that decision either, right? I mean, just, it's questionable booking decisions that somebody's going to have to explain to me why we're giving Triple H so much praise. Because when I talk about it, I'll explain. Like, I told you guys last week, I didn't think Austin Theory was done with the United States title. And thank God he's not, because Austin Theory was the saving grace of Monday Night Raw. Let's process that. 1 week ago, we were talking about Austin Theory being an embarrassment and a disappointment. And let's fast forward 1 week to Austin Theory being the savior of Monday Night Raw. Now, we can accredit that to Triple H. Let's give him props. A good turn of events there, but I was always behind that idea. I was never in fear that they were burying Austin Theory. I had said this was all going to be for the good, that they have a plan for him. He's not done. He'll come back different. And he did come back different. He came back without the briefcase, way more serious, and he came back with a high level of intensity. One problem here for me, it feels like Triple H only has 2 speeds with guys right now. He either knows how to make them extremely focused and intense or just slapstick comedians, right? Because you have the Dexter Lumis stuff and the Miz, and that's turned into a fucking joke. It looks like Corbin is kind of turning into a joke. But then you have guys who were, Theory had personality. Even if the phone thing was annoying, it was personality. And you strip him of all that and you go, we're just going to make him super intense. And you go, Bobby Lashley, we're just going to make him super intense. And it feels like some of that personality is being stripped out of Monday Night Raw. You're getting a bunch of characters who lack personality. They're just either super focused or they're super hokey and they want to make you laugh. I'm still willing to take the time to listen and see where Triple H goes with all this. But I have revoked myself from the Kool-Aid. I have pulled myself back from the religion of Triple H, and I'm now being objective and going, hold on. Let's reassess what we've seen here, and let's be objective and let's see, is Triple H really booking so well, or did he just come in real hot and now he's almost built himself more problems than good? My key takeaways from Monday Night Raw, if I'm just breaking this down, just key takeaways, it's not positive. SmackDown is by far my favorite show right now. I'm not even, if SmackDown and Raw were my two kids, SmackDown is my favorite kid right now. But my takeaways from Monday Night Raw, Corbin's character, still confusing as fuck. So he's a comedy act now. And his character really hasn't changed at all, except that JBL's hanging out with him. JBL has not taught him anything. I guess he's taught him, hey, just pick a bunch of jobbers to fight against, and you can get your wins that way, right? Loomis and Miz have lost all momentum. It's a joke. It's not even interesting anymore. A match. They're going to have a match so that once again Loomis can get a contract. Bro, he's there every week. He's got a contract. What does that mean? And if Miz loses, he has to pay back the money. Like what? Why should I be invested in those stakes? I don't understand. None of that means anything to me. I don't think that Seth Rollins will be as over as a babyface as he was as a heel, because I think us as a casual crowd like him like we like the Joker and Batman. We wanted to cheer for the bad guy. And now that you make him a good guy, he's kind of silly. He's kind of good. Like he's kind of crazy. That character doesn't necessarily work. It's like just because the crowd started singing his song and just because they cheer him doesn't mean you have to then give him babyface momentum. And I'm afraid like Triple H is overreacting to fan service. Like this is what the fans want. If they're going to cheer him, make him a babyface. And I don't love that. I don't love that Austin Theory, as unlikable as he was with the cell phone and as annoying as he was, when you strip that away, that characteristic, and you go, he's just going to be super intense, I'm afraid that he just becomes another guy on the roster. And why couldn't we combine the gimmicks? Why couldn't we still have the cell phone, but a darker version of it, right? Him taking pictures of him beating people up and being booked strongly. Why does it have to be one or the other? Why can't it be a little bit of comedy with a little bit of intensity? Why does Triple H have this polarizing idea that you either have to lose everything that makes you, or you have to just 100% be there for comedy? It does, like that bothers me a little bit. And Bobby Lashley, I think he's being booked well as a monster. I think he's being booked on that, like, am I good? Am I bad? I'll do whatever it takes. So I have no problem with Bobby Lashley right now. I think this is actually the best Bobby Lashley has been booked in a long time. And last, I said it earlier, but I think the women's War Games match has just become a complete clusterfuck. It's going to be Spot Fest. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be Spot Fest, right? It's going to be all these powerful women in the ring doing these big spots. You talk about they needed video footage. They're going to get all the video footage they need from this match. But this match is going to either end up in injury or it's going to end up in just, it's not going to progress anybody's story hardly at all.